Hi. For my vlog, I wanted to take a look at how hip hop culture has been impacted by popular culture. I also want to discuss how the intercultural praxis model can help us analyze the media practices and determine what we can do to change it. Um, Hip hop is a huge part of popular culture today and has been mainstream since the 80s. Originally, hip hop music was intended to be the voice of the minority. It was anti government, anti pop culture, anti mainstream. It was angry at society. It spoke the realities of the young minorities. It provided an outlet for the truth hidden from the mainstream. In an article written by Becky Blanchard titled The Social Significance of Rap and Hip Hop Culture, she defines hip hop as music that helped express and shape the culture of Black New York City youth in the 1970s. Rappers quickly became the voice of the poor, the urban, the working class, or the misrepresented by the mainstream media. However, over the past few decades, in a lot of ways, hip hop has morphed from something artistic, raw, and beautiful to the very ugly, mainstream, commodified culture it was created to expose. Blanchard states rap was developed as a form of resistance to the subjugation of working class African Americans in urban centers. It has the powerful potential to address social, economic, and political issues and act as a unifying force for its audience. Originally, hip hop was this form of resistance that young minorities could use to speak out against society and the social injustices they were seeing and living each day. But today, hip hop has succumbed to the pressure to conform and is no longer an honest voice for change. Elitism and capitalism have taken root and twisted hip hop's culture into something marketable to the masses, and in doing so has distorted the identities of today's young minorities, particularly young black males. The way young black men are portrayed in hip hop today is often through highly negative representations and often perpetuates the stereotypes of young black males that we often hear. Um, they're often portrayed as violent, angry, promiscuous, gangsters, drug dealers, and thugs. The music today can be heard celebrating violent acts on other black individuals and groups rather than on the systems in society that continue to oppress the African American community. Popular culture has literally taken hip hop and turned it against black culture in a way. It was once, the voice of black people and spoke the truth about their struggles and pain. But today, their struggles continue to be shared through the music, but it's not necessarily directed at the social injustices that their community experiences. Instead, it's often directed at other black rappers, their own culture, criticizing, dehumanizing, and demoralizing each other. Mainstream media has found a way to market and commodify the oppression of African Americans and this vehicle that they use to shed light on it. Using the intercultural praxis model, we as readers or decoders of popular culture and media can critically analyze the media and text that pop culture presents. We can then begin to take action towards social justice. We must first become aware of the role of popular culture and media in shaping our understanding of hip hop culture. In hip hop, we can see popular culture is normalizing and perpetuating denigrating stereotypes of black men and women. In an industry controlled um, mainly by upper class white men, young urban minority musicians are often treated as commodities, not as artists. In the growing success of the hip hop market, musicians have struggled to maintain rap's potency as a form of resistance and empowerment. As we begin to recognize and become more aware of how mainstream media is dominating the artistic integrity of hip hop artists, we can begin to make informed decisions on what we're going to do with this media that reinforces stereotypical and dehumanizing portrayals of hip hop and black culture. We can choose to not consume the media, we can turn it off. We can also go a step further and, as producers, create our own media. Today in the hip hop world, there are many rappers who are producing true hip hop music that is authentically representative of the African American community's struggles and experiences. These rappers do not experience the fame and fortune, though, of those who have gone mainstream, but their art is real and independent from corporate control. So, what I would like to discuss for this week is, what other forms of art or media have you seen lose its authentic identity or its original identity as it became more pop culture or mainstream? Thank you.